Hey everyone, my name's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be just doing a really sit down video and I'm going to be talking about everything to do with podcasts. Podcasts are amazing. I literally listen to them most days. I'm obsessed with them and I really just wanted to do a sit down video and just talk about why I love them, how I listen to them, why I listen to them. And a couple of my favorite podcasters. If you really like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. So first of all, why I like podcasts. I really like them because you get all these different people who have an interest area, and because of that presumably they've done a lot of like research into a particular topic because it is something interesting to them. So you get all these people with all of these really useful and insightful views and information about certain topics, and it's all sort of condensed to this like time period, whether it's like 10 minutes or an hour. That's kind of like the range time for them. Like a lot of podcasts kind of about 10-20 minutes, and then some you actually get like an hour long session, whether that be by themselves or with another person's kind of like an interview based thing. But yeah, it's really interesting to listen to people talk about their experiences and their depth of knowledge on different topics. So I mainly listen to the kind of podcasts that are like motivational and not just like you can do it and like go chase your dreams, like those YouTube videos, like those ones I'm talking about where they have like the people playing sport and it's just like all this dramatic music and things like that. It's motivational in the sense that it helps you to change your mindset in order to improve yourself. So it's like motivating for like long-term improvements and things like that. I hope that makes sense. So I listen to a lot of things like that. I also really like health related podcasts where say they're interviewing a person in a specific field within the health region, like a particular dietitian or like a neurosurgeon or like things sort of like that. And I really like ones that to do with like money, like saving money, just really lifestyle-y sort of things. Like I know there's like the TED Talk one. There's such a wide array of different podcast types and kind of what people are talking about. There is definitely a lot of different types. But yeah, they're just like the main ones that I really enjoy. So I really like listening to them because I feel like YouTube videos are great, like watching a video or documentary or things like that. They're great if you have the time to sit down and fully engage with that video. Like you kind of can't really be doing other things while that's happening. You can't be doing things. But with podcasts, you can have them like in your headphones while you're cleaning the house. You can have it in the car while you're driving, kind of in that dead time where you're doing sort of little tasks where you can kind of take the opportunity to do more with your time. So I really like listening to them when I drive, and because I'm just driving to like work, which takes about 15 minutes every day. The kind of 10-minute episodes are like 10 to 15-minute episodes are perfect for that because you kind of get a snippet of information while you're doing something which you're just driving, like if that makes sense. Or like I like listening to them at the gym sometimes if I'm feeling it. Yeah, so I really just listen to them during those kind of dead space times. And like it's really good to I listen to them while I'm getting ready in the morning, while I'm doing my makeup, and I feel like it just sort of sets the tone for the day, especially if I listen to them in the morning. If I'm sort of just waking up feeling a bit uneasy, and I'll listen to a video about like how to change the narrative that you tell yourself, or how to have more positive self-talk. And like I find that actually really helpful, and they just make you think things through a little bit differently. Obviously it depends on the podcast you listen to, but I find there is some like not experts, but they've done a lot more research than I have, and a lot more time has been spent looking into specific topics. So I feel like they have more knowledge to share than I have myself. So yeah, it really does help me sometimes if I'm just getting ready and I'm feeling a bit flustered, just listening to a podcast, and it kind of can change my whole like outlook on things, which is like amazing. Like I find that really helpful. So that's kind of why I listen to them. The next thing is how. So I use an app on my phone. It's called Castbox. If you kind of looks like, it's gonna focus on it. So it looks like that, and then it just has like all your different things that you subscribe to here, and then there's like a discovery section that you can look up. You know, there's like this page here which has like a whole bunch of different things. So it's got like, you know, comedy, or you can actually listen to things like that. You can listen to like dramas. There's like different fact things if you want to know about like history or something, society and culture, health and fitness, the news. You can get your news from here if you choose to. They've got the ABC radio and BBC, education, crime, a really large array of different topics on there. So it's a free app that you can use, and I just went on to my download thing and I just downloaded that. I think also you can listen on iTunes. I know Spotify, you can listen to podcasts as well. I don't know why I didn't just use Spotify. I kind of like that feature that you can do where you can just look at, like, you can select only the ones that you haven't listened to instead of like scrolling through all the ones that like you have listened to, and like you can kind of tick them off and stuff. With the Spotify one, I haven't actually switched over, which I probably should, but I have just been using Castbox forever. Yeah, so yeah, lots of different ways depending on, you know, what suits you. I think they're all free. They're just sort of there. Like, I don't think you really have to pay for a subscription on any of those things to use. I guess Spotify, you do have to pay for Spotify. So yeah, if you don't have Spotify, go for Castbox. So talking about my favorite podcast. Okay, so my favorite ones, 100% is my all-time favorite one has to be the Mindset Mentor. So his profile looks like that, and he also does like Facebook videos, YouTube videos, he's on Instagram, things like that. And he posts 3 times a week, so I for one love that. Like, that's just an amazing part of his podcast. He's uploading all the time, which is amazing. All of his podcasts are between 10 and 20 minutes long, I'd say. Just looking at this, sometimes he has an hour long episode if he's interviewing someone, but yeah, they're always really short snippets. So he's all about how to change your mindset. So one of my all-time favorite episodes from him is episode 689. So he has over 700 episodes, which is insane. He's been doing this for such a long time. Yeah, episode 689 is how to save money. That honestly changed my whole mindset and all of that around money. Go listen to the podcast episode, it's amazing. But so he explained it as, say in your bank account you're used to seeing $2,000, you know, roughly around there. Maybe it's a little bit up, maybe it's a little bit down. That's sort of your point where you're comfortable with. And then if you get a massive bill that comes in and it drops down to $1,000, well, what are you gonna do then? You know, you save money harder than you usually do. You don't go out as often, you don't go buy clothes, you don't, you know, go out with friends as often. Like, you kind of don't spend the extra bit of money that you usually do till it goes back up to that 2,000, and that's kind of your comfortable point. And then the same, well, the opposite goes for when you get up to 3,000. And say if you got a bonus, or you got, you know, a bit of extra pay come in, or you get your tax back, tax time specifically, so that you go up to $3,000, and you think, I've deserved this, I've worked hard for this, I deserve to go out and treat myself. And you kind of find extra little ways that you usually wouldn't to spend the rest of that money. And then you get around 2,000, and that's where you're comfortable with again. So that's basically the whole message behind that podcast episode, which really resonated with me because I feel like that's exactly what I do. And it's, yeah, like really helped me kind of be more focused on money and kind of like my mindset around that and what I do with it. So that's just one example of the kind of stuff he does. So the next person I really like is the Rise and Conquer podcast. So that is by Georgie Stevenson, and that is what her one looks like. So she just started season 2, which is amazing, and I just watched that. I just listened to that video this morning and it was really, really good. I really like her podcast because she's a local girl to me. She lives in the Gold Coast and she used to live in Brisbane. So she's Australian, she's really close, I don't know, I just find it really relatable. For one, being a female, she just talks about like things from like a more feminine perspective, I guess, than you know, the male podcasters would do, which is to be expected, and kind of get some of the things around body image that I feel like more girls struggle with generally. So I really like her for that. And then yeah, so all of her things are all to do with how to improve yourself. She does a lot of interviews with people about, you know, different diets. You know, there's an episode here called Creating a Successful Authentic Online Presence and Being a New Working Mum. So she talks about like things like that, talks about mental health, how to set up a morning routine, you know, how to stop dieting, how to stop yo-yo dieting. So it's all kind of health, but with a bit of mindset perspective with it too. So it's, yeah, like physical health and like mental health tied in together. So her podcasts are really good. She posts once a week, but I think season 2 she said was going to be twice a week, which is really cool. So she kind of goes with an episode by herself and then an episode with somebody else and kind of goes back between them. So yeah, she's amazing. Like, I really, really like her podcast as well. So a newer one that I've been listening to is The Healthy Hustlers. So I've only been listening to a couple of ones from there, and they are a little bit of a longer episode. So it's the 2 ladies and they just have this really great dialogue. So that's another one that I listen to. Another one that I've been into is called The Gold Digger, and it's about how to, you know, kind of make your own business and things like that. So yeah, mainly the mindset, mental, and the healthy hustlers are the ones that I always go back to. So they're my favorite ones. So yeah, they're sort of the main ones that I listen to currently. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments if you listen to podcasts, which podcasts you listen to, because I'm always looking for new ones. I'm always looking to listen to new ones, and just, yeah, if you listen to them, let me know, and like, yeah, what are your favorites? So I hope you really enjoyed this video talking about podcasts. It's something I really have been enjoying probably this past year. I've actually really been into them. You know, prior to that, I sort of didn't really listen to them, maybe a little bit in the 6 months of the last 6 months of 2018. But yeah, 2019 was the year I really got into podcasts, and I've continued that on through to 2020. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.